That's how I studied. And then I realized, no man, what's the use of writing things that I don't understand down? Like, how am I writing things that I don't understand down? Hello everyone, I am Hope, better known as Hope M, and if you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. So guys, basically in this video, I am not going to be giving you like really tips. I am going to be telling you how I actually moved from a 58 to a 80 for this one specific module here in university, and maybe you can use this tip when you are studying that hard subject. So I literally moved to like an 80 plus, not strictly 80, but it's like an 80 plus. So guys, firstly, that lecturer was very strict. You know, when you just feel like you dislike a lecturer or a teacher, you know, in this case, let me just say a teacher, but I am talking about a lecturer, okay? Yeah, you know, when you just dislike a teacher, not dislike her, but like the module, you know, you just feel like this subject is too hard for me, I will never do this, you know. So that was me, first semester. I was like, nah, this module is just too much, I don't think I can do it. And I didn't do it. What's a 58? For yes, a person who is not used to distinctions, you will say that a 58 is better than nothing. But a person who is used of distinctions won't settle for a 58. Even a 65 is better. Actually, a 70 is better. So I am a person who, when I study, I use different study techniques. And I have a video where I actually gave out different techniques. If you haven't watched it, please watch it. So yeah, I use different study techniques, but this one is the one that is outstanding for me, where when I see something, I have to rewrite it down and then study it my own handwriting. I literally have to write what I have to study down. For instance, if it's a textbook, I have a textbook with me, I will summarize the textbook and write my own notes so that I can study my own notes, you know. And to be honest, as much as that is an effective study method, it wastes time. And sometimes you feel like your head can take in a lot of information, but your hand is just too tired to write down. And the moment your hand becomes tired to write down, you feel like you are tired, even though you are not tired, your hand is just tired. So that's how I used to study in the first semester for that specific module, you know. And yeah, that's how I studied. And then I realized, no man, what's the use of writing things that I don't understand down? Like, how am I writing things that I don't understand down? And another tip is that as much as you think not attending that specific class is helpful because it's the same thing, you don't understand anything, sometimes attending class is really helpful, because even if you don't really understand what she is saying, but when you are writing, you will remember that, oh, when she was explaining this concept, she made a joke, and then you remember that concept and write the answer down. So how I moved from a 58 to an 80 plus is that when we started second semester, I attended her class. I made sure I attended her class, and whatever negative thought I had about her, this lecturer, she finishes my power. Hey, I don't understand what she's saying. I got rid of that. I stopped being negative in terms of her and her module. Whatever that she would say, I would take it in, whether I felt like listening or not. That's how you should be towards that module that you hate, or that subject that you hate, or that lecturer or teacher that you hate. Don't hate them or their subject. Hate is a big word. Don't dislike them. The moment you dislike them or their subject, you are never, ever, ever going to pass it. Even if you pass it, you won't pass it with the marks that you want. Even if you can get an 80, 80 is not what you want. You obviously want a 90 or 100. You can't tell me that when you write, your aim is to get an 80. No, you aim for 100. You just end up getting an 80. You're used to getting an 80. So that's what I did. I attended the classes and I removed the negative energy that I had. For her module, I stopped writing down, guys. I stopped writing down because her work was a lot and I had other modules or subjects to focus on. I couldn't just focus on her module alone. I stopped writing down and I printed out the notes that she gave us. I don't have a textbook. We use slides in university, so I printed out her slides. I literally printed out her slides. One thing I didn't like about her slides is that they were written in small letters. Imagine looking at your laptop and trying to analyze what she is saying. And you literally can't see, you can't understand. I don't have a problem with my eyes, but imagine me doing this. By that time, you're even tired of sitting on a chair. Guys, don't lie. Sitting on a chair hurts. You know, sitting and studying where you don't even have to shift. I'm telling you, even if you have an S or you don't have an S, your bones, especially if you don't have an S, okay, no offense, ne? Especially if you don't have an S, your bones end up hitting, guys. Yo, this thing is rough. This thing, yes, sis. So imagine just scanning through. You don't understand. The chair is hurting you. Your hand is painful. Hey, everything is just like. By that time, there's no witchcraft that is involved. It's just you. And by that time, your concentration span is not even that much. So yes, I printed out. Let me show you an example. This is me and how I used to write down. This is basically questions. I write down when I'm studying, right? But those are questions. Okay? And then here, I actually printed out the slides. And then here, I wrote my notes. I printed out the slides and I wrote my notes down. As much as you think, guys, trust me, I used to think I cannot grasp information without writing it down. That is a lie. It's a lie that you tell yourself. You will never know if you don't try to study without writing down. I printed out the slides, okay? And I write down where I don't understand. Just like here, I didn't understand what this sentence is saying, and I wrote down what it meant. By using AI and doing what? And making it explain in a way that I will understand. So, yes, printing out the slides is very much effective, especially if you're in university, okay? And if the slides are not a lot. So, I print out the slides. I write my own notes where I don't understand. Just like here, just like here, just like here, here, and here. And then when I'm done studying, what I like about printing out the slides is that when I'm studying, I just highlight. I can read a sentence and I highlight it. And when I highlight, I feel like whatever that I'm highlighting just enters in my brain and it stays. That's how I operate. Not for all modules, but for a module where I feel like, nah, these slides, I just cannot write them down. I literally print out the slides and I read from that. That is what I did. And my marks improved. Another thing that I did is that, like I said, here I have questions. Okay, when I was studying, I looked at my notes or whatever that I was studying and I formed questions to ask myself. For instance, maybe you're studying a chapter that talks about bottles, it talks about pens, and then when you write down questions, you'll be like, define what a bottle is, define what a pen is, Tell me about the process of how you can use a pen to write. Tell me of the process of how water is helpful in people's lives. Those are the type of questions that I used to set. And another tip is that you can literally take your slides and upload them on ChatGPT and tell them to formulate questions for you based on what on those slides. Another thing that I did is to use ChatGPT. Guys, in university or also in high school, there are some words that you don't understand at all. There are some words that look bombastic, that just ruin that sentence to an extent where you feel like when you read, you are stupid. You're not stupid. Just translate that word. Translate it or is it a synonym? Guys, I don't know if it's synonym. I think it's synonym. If it's not synonym, please forgive me. Get a synonym of that word. Get a synonym of that word and you will realize that you actually understand. When I don't understand, I take that sentence, I copy and paste, put it on GPT, and I'm like, please explain. If it still explains in a way that I don't understand, I'm like, please explain like you're explaining to a person who is in 3rd grade, and it explains step by step, step by step. Imagine you not understanding the process of meiosis or transcription, and it just explains for you. Imagine you not understanding how to get a gradient when it comes to mathematics, and it explains to you that this is what you do, this is what you do. And if you're in university, there is this other website where you can actually upload your notes, and it creates a podcast where it feels like 2 people are talking, based on the notes that you uploaded. For instance, I upload my notes, right? And it will form a podcast where the pen and I are talking. The pen is someone. Where the pen is like, so these days you're telling me that transcription is needed for this and this to happen. The pen is asking me. And then I'm like, yes, a pen is needed. And then the pen answers, but how? And then I explain the process. It takes your notes and literally generates a podcast. 2 people talking. It's like you listening to a conversation between your mom and your dad talking about meiosis. It's like you listening to your mom or your dad talking about mathematics. And you're like, nah. You're like, Guys, this is not an advert. I'm not advertising anything. I'm not being paid. Like I am telling you, it generated 60 pages that I was supposed to study. You know how many hours it can take for you to finish 60 pages, to cram 60 pages, or to know 60 pages. I put it in that thing. That thing literally generated a podcast that was like, I think it was 30 minutes. And they were talking. And while they were talking, I took notes. I was writing down my own notes. I was like, oh. And when it's like this, guys, it's actually better for you to understand. Because people are talking. It's better for you to take in information. Unlike you just sitting and reading things you don't understand. And another thing, guys, I stopped giving up on myself in terms of that module. If I didn't understand anything, I didn't give up. I told myself that I'm not going to sleep without knowing this. I would only sleep after I knew it, and that's how I passed. That's how I moved from a 58 to a 80 plus. If I can do it, you can do it. The problem with us is that we are so negative. We are so negative to an extent that we end up forgetting our potential. Guys, if these strategies work for me, they can work for you. Just try it out. I also used to think it won't work until it started working. There are maybe 4 modules that I study by writing down, and there are 2 where I actually study by printing out the slides. That's how I roll. You cannot be doing 6 modules in one semester and all of them are a lot and you feel like you'll write everything down. It doesn't work like that. I print out question papers, guys. I print out question papers literally. Like, I ask people that did this module to give me question papers where I can actually print out. I printed out the question papers and I practice using question papers. I'm not a person who can come here and tell you that, no, you should use past question papers while I'm not using them. One thing about me is that whatever tip that I give you, just know that I once used it and it worked for me. And I am currently using it and it's working for me. I can never ever give you a tip that has never ever worked for me. Because the moment I do that, it means I am lying to you. How can I give you tips based on something that I have never experienced? It means I'm lying to you. What if it's impossible to do that thing? But the moment I tell you to do this, it means it's possible because I have done it. So guys, try this out. Please just try it out and come back and give me a feedback or testimony regarding this. Without that being said, I am signing out. Please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and you like this video, okay? And use these tips, okay? Improve using these tips. They worked for me. They will also work for you. I'll never mislead you. Without being said, I am signing out. Peace.